The purpose of this video is to help you manipulate a physical representation of cyclohexane. That way you can identify the important features of the molecule. So here I have a representation of cyclohexane, and what I've done just to help us is I've made 6 of our hydrogen atoms white. You can see one here. I've made 3 of them green and 3 of them violet. And that's just going to guide our eye as we manipulate our model. So we have our 6-carbon ring with 2 hydrogens on each. And you notice that it doesn't want to sit flat. It's not on a plane. So we're going to manipulate this to find both the chair conformation and the boat conformation. First thing we want to do is choose 4 atoms to be the plane of our ring, with the other 2 positioned above and below that. So I'm going to choose these 2 here at the front and the 2 opposite them at the back, and that is my plane right there. You can see that they're sitting together in a plane. And I just check the other 2 atoms. One of them is up here, it's above the plane, and the other carbon atom is down here, and I wanted it to be below the plane that the 4 created. So when we think of the phrase of a chair conformation, these 4 atoms are the seat of our chair. Then we have 1 carbon atom that is the headrest, and the other carbon atom over here, that's our footrest. And so someone can relax sitting in the chair, rest their head here, and their feet come down and rest down here. Now, in this orientation, we see that we have 3 of our hydrogen atoms pointing up, 3 pointing down, and the other 6 are around the ring, but they're not directly in the plane. This one here is pointing slightly up, and this one is pointing slightly down. The ones that are directly up and down, we call those axial. The ones that are slightly above and below the plane, we call equatorial. And we can still distinguish axial up, separate from axial down, equatorial up, distinct from equatorial down. Now, let's manipulate our model to switch to the other chair conformation for this molecule and see what happens to the hydrogens. So keep in mind, at our starting point, the green are up, the violet are down, and the white are in our in the equatorial positions. So first thing we want to do, we want to take our chair and we're going to just twist a little bit here. This has put us into the a half chair kind of process where we still have our headrest, but we've lost our footrest now. 5 carbon atoms are in the plane, 1 is not. From that, twist some more, and now we have this really odd shape. Nothing's really in the plane anymore. This is our twist boat. Then push this one up. That used to be our footrest. And now both the headrest and the footrest are coming toward you. The other 4 are back sitting in the plane like they had before. So we've really just brought that footrest up, and we have a boat. It's a little hard to see from the video. You're going to need to build your own molecule and try and manipulate to go from the chair to the boat conformation. Now, from boat, we're going to twist the other side and then bring that down into the plane. And now we have 5 carbon atoms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the plane, with the last one above. And then push it down, and we have our other chair. So the 4 atoms that were in the plane before are the same four in the plane now, but we've switched. Our footrest is now a headrest. Our headrest became a footrest. And look at what happened to the hydrogens. Originally, the green atoms were pointing up and they were axial. They were going straight up. Now they're still pointing up a little bit, but they're equatorial up. The violet atoms, they were originally pointing straight down, but they've twisted themselves to now be equatorial down. So we've maintained things pointing up or down, but we've switched between a position of axial and equatorial. In the same way, our hydrogen atoms that used to be pointing just slightly up have swung to be vertical, axial up, and those that were pointing slightly down are now pointing directly down. So they went from equatorial down to axial down. And if we want, we could just reverse that. Twist, twist, boat, twist, twist, and we have back to the original chair with the the green hydrogens pointing up, the violet hydrogens pointing down, and all the white ones back in those equatorial positions. Okay, go build your own model and give it a try.